Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Motherland Fort Salem. We're now into episode 4 of season 3, which is called Happy Yule. So, interesting title. Typically Yule, I've only heard that term associated with Christmas, but I can't think it's that simplistic in this world. So I'm interested to see what it means in this episode. The last episode we had the most, I think, significant thing happen where our group of fugitives were all captured by the Rangers, and they're now in this weird, creepy mansion that's all warded up that they can't seem to escape, and they're being told that they're going to be meeting someone who's going to talk to them. As I said in that episode, I don't think it's quite what it seems. I don't think the Rangers or the witches that are in the session are necessarily enemies of these girls or enemies even of witches in the military, but I have a feeling there's a little bit of probably two things going on actually. I think they probably recognize that there's a threat in the Camarilla potentially, but they're also maybe not 100% on board with what Alder did in the way that Alder went with becoming, or militarizing the witches, etc. So anyways, I'll be interested to see who it is that's expecting them and what that conversation is going to be like. We also saw that on the Camarilla side, the crazy mad scientist did some sort of procedure to himself. I think he's trying to give himself the abilities of witches because he wants to fight fire with fire after being embarrassed, I guess, again, by being captured and almost fully captured by the witches again. So who knows where that's going to take us. And we've also seen that Alder is back. They know she's back, but she disappeared halfway through before being captured by the Rangers. She disappeared into the ether, it seems, and didn't really tell anybody anything. And that Tally has gotten a piece of the original song, which is one of the reasons why Alder was there in the first place. Oh, I almost forgot the bombing that happened at the president's abode. We see it looks like the president was taken out by the Camarilla and they released some type of weapon that does not look like your typical bomb. So lots going on, ready to get into the episode. But before I do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. I do reactions here, and if you like reactions to show like this, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you can be notified when I do more reactions. There's a lot of shows on my roster. Please do check out my page to find out more about that. We're on a march to 10K, and I'd love if you were there with me. And I'd also appreciate it if you like this video, if you go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, and it helps a girl out. And the same goes for those who've been here before. Welcome back. Love y'all. You know the drill. All right, enough chitter chatter, guys. Let's get into the episode right about now.
And I will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend.
Of course he's going to do this because he sacrificed his daughter. Was that not the president? Did those sneaky girls put in a decoy because they had a feeling something might happen? Because I would stand if they did. Or if maybe they did some kind of protection. That definitely looked like some type of spell. Back to the creepy house of horrors.
You sure it was Alder, not someone wearing her face?
Positive. She's different, though.
She's like, I went through so much to get that woman to die. There, Nikta.
Your personal oversight, Colonel Jarrett.
Colonel. Oh, you're gonna die, Colonel. Make no mistake. I want them to bring back his daughter so that she can, come back and haunt him. That's what he deserves. How's she just finding dead things all the time? I'm really worried about this girl. For real. I get why you don't have a lot of friends growing up. This guy is so weird. I don't actually think he's evil, but I do think he likes terrorizing these girls a little bit.
Amber waves.
So he's trying to practice his new abilities. Is that it?
America.
What is actually happening right now? This is so creepy. Thank you. Please keep the mic away from him forever. Even for karaoke standards, that was awful.
Before we introduce the new leader of the
Look at her
free
face.
world.
She's like, oh God, he snapped.
I'll give them something to stare at.
Yeah. Why would you do that? This is why you guys keep losing, the arrogance. I just feel like this is what bothers me so much about the witches is that they're so arrogant. But I mean, this is Alder's doing though, that they don't understand that the Camarilla have come a long way. If they're imitating your work, you have to know that they would have created safeguards if they captured you. It's this arrogance that allowed them to get this far. I really hope it's poisoning his system and that it's just shrinking his brain as we speak.
But I should warn you that there are frequencies of sound in here that could alter certain organs of yours.
Perhaps you'd prefer to join my oversight in the...
Right? Don't even tell him. I would have been like, let me go ahead and shrink your balls.
Penelope, dear. Come say hello.
This is y'all's secret weapon. This is y'all's secret weapon.
How did you do this?
May I have a glass of milk?
No.
I was able to reconstitute her.
She looks very creepy.
She's human?
As you can see. But I'm thirsty! She still has violent impulses, hence the mittens.
Interesting. I think she'll be okay as long as she doesn't see the people that actually caused her to explode, because I feel like that might bring out some trauma, a few triggers maybe.
Penelope was only 4, but it was her idea. She wanted those training wheels off. It only took her one.
That's right. Guilt him. Guilt him.
So now I'm asking you. Look at me.
He can't. Coward.
Of course.
I mean, at this point, he's already gone and done it, so he might as well just sink in. I'm glad that they're showing this, though. It's very easy to villainize Lenton, but this is what the danger is of cults and that thinking is. It generally, like, clouds your judgment and your instincts that tell you that something's wrong. Y'all really aren't smart. That's why the Camarilla beating you. Arrogance.
Yeah, and besides, they're saying Tally and I were there too, and you know that we weren't.
Yeah, right. You all too busy running around the session blowing up chemical plants.
Right? Careless.
They'll be here after Yule. After we all eat, drink, and be merry together.
Love it.
Let you roam around, get some fresh air.
Why would you do that?
Because I'm a generous man during the holidays.
He says that with such a straight face. That's amazing. Y'all just settle in. You're not leaving till he's ready.
The council's known to be fair.
So we just need to make them believe us. Make them our allies.
Okay, calm down. Not everything's a military exercise.
Once a terrorist, always a terrorist.
Okay, calm down. Breathe.
To be embarrassed by a bunch of little girls. Again.
That won't happen.
The way she says little girls like those little girls could not absolutely decimate you. Anyway, I really hate women who diminish other women. It's just not necessary. Society does more than enough for us.
Mom and Dad would probably be horrified, just like they were with all your other little experiments.
Of course they're related. Let him know, Kalita. Excuse me, Tally, maybe you're not invited. Don't be stepping on her singing ground.
It is time.
The way she just came in right through those wards.
Look, I know you have this mission, but stay here. We meet the council and you can help explain everything to them.
I can't.
Bigger things afoot. It's interesting that she's only having these interactions for the most part with Tally, and I'm not sure it's because of the site. But then again, let's be real. Abigail tends to be just so brusque that it's hard to talk to her about anything.
And I appreciate that you shared that working with me almost 400 years ago.
Well, great work runs its course.
So those men are his biddies.
A song was stolen from one of your people.
Well, plenty of things have been stolen from my people.
Woo! You better preach.
Do you know whose song this is?
He does.
We will see each other again.
Poor Dill. He's like, I keep losing my people. Bye, Kalita. Go do amazing things, girl. I believe in you. Aww.
What's going on? How could this happen? We need to do something. We need to fight back.
Breathe. Can we
That's
breathe?
exactly what I planned to do.
So Isadora created a golem, and we allowed the assassination to take
Golems?
place.
I'm interested. Keep talking.
They were able to sub the golem for me before the explosion.
Just doing my job, ma'am.
You take that praise. You take that praise. You deserve it.
Louise, I'm the chef in this joint.
How convenient. Perhaps you should get back to the kitchen, Louise. I hear a timer going on.
Pooh! You got to.
Alder. She's back.
Oh, I will have that refill now.
It's perfect timing. I need a sue.
If I ever hear you say that Riel's dead again, you'll be the one to end up in a grave.
God, can you two stop?
This is love. And you're too lonely and miserable to even tell the difference.
Potentially. But maybe you should try empathizing a little instead of just judging her for it.
I thought maybe I was too late, but
Oh no, the woman having to take ancient instruments to whoop some ass. Do you know the sacrilege? That's a double insult, actually.
I've come to return it.
Can you hurry up?
Listen.
If someone's attacking her already, we ain't got time for subtleties. Let's go, let's go!
It's been so long. It's yours.
Take it, quickly, let's go! Yeah! Song power is like Beyonce, but for witches. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still on Renaissance right now. That energy is just filling me up. Anyway.
Do you see anything?
What's he supposed to see?
Right?
It's a game we played as kids.
It's like, can you just explain to those of us who are not witches what's happening? Outsider.
I'm gonna need everybody's help. I don't know if it'll work, but it's worth a try. It's for real.
It's like, you can't just walk into a room with a bloody heart and no explanation. That's kind of creepy. Just a little FYI for the future. Oh, Nikta, is your cold dead heart starting to thaw out a little bit? Dirt. Perfect.
Is something supposed to happen?
Right? She's us. I love it. You know Rael ain't gonna die like that. Come on now. Have faith. Keep having the faith. She's like, I'm here. Barely. I heard about what happened to the actress. Taylor, I hope she's doing good and recovered since this filmed.
Bet you're pretty handy with that.
I'd be happy to show you later.
Excuse me, sir. I know how y'all witches power up, but isn't she married or something? Mistletoe. Yes. Please celebrate a little bit. Y'all just... Oh, okay. Okay. Adele, you better show us what's up. He says, you think I'm this little mountain boy with no moves. You let him know.
Been holding out on me all this time.
You know.
Have to wait for the right moment.
That's right. You shut up and make a baby already.
And what if it's about what Dwight and Shelby were discussing?
Bests.
No, dummy.
Look at Adele with his jokes.
Let's worry about clearing our names and achieving world peace first. Deal?
Deal.
Great thing about babies, though, they don't care about anybody's time. And if y'all be practicing, you know, it might have already happened for all we know. Yes, y'all dance. You've had a very intense couple of weeks. You need to breathe and remember that there's something worth living for.
She told me that if my mom was ever going to come back, it would be on you.
Did she ever come back?
I'm thinking not. False hope is the worst thing you can give a kid. I don't know why people do it. It's more for the adults. It's better to tell them the truth and let them hurt and grieve than to let them sit there and get disappointed repeatedly. I will always stand behind that. Everybody being all warm and cozy and fuzzy now. El Presidente! You best get it on. Yeah, we never too old to get a little something, something. You know what I'm saying, Prez? I see you, girl. What's she seeing? Who's this? Is that Hallie? Back in uniform. Rael. Why is her back to her? Do I want to see her? Is that what's happening to her right now? Who's coming for her? What are those dark shadows? I have questions. Why am I not getting answers?
I saw her.
Not Oblivion.
I think she might end the world.
Oh, so that's what Alder was saying when she said the song that saves the world. I kind of had the idea that maybe the mycelium was like throughout the earth, but... Oh, wasn't that the girl that was at the... That was the girl that was at the hideaway. Oh, this girl is so stupid, but I should have known that if she was, you know, one of Scylla's former... I knew he was going to die, didn't I say it? You could have used that energy to save that man. It's too late. Or maybe not. I don't hope he doesn't die, but I've been saying all that sweet stuff they were showing in the last episode. I'm like, never doesn't bode well in shows like this. It's usually a goodbye.
The council needs to know you're alive.
I'm putting the wards back up. More to keep things out than to keep you in.
Soldiers!
Right?
Patient hunter spends most of his time in the blind.
Exactly. Y'all too quick, especially you, Abigail. Breathe, girl. I get it, but seriously, like, the best advantage you have is that the president is still alive. You can't let that go. Once that happens, this starts all over again. I mean, y'all had to know it was gonna get worse before it got better, right? Messy. All right, guys, that was episode 4, which was called Happy Yule, which I don't know how happy it was in the end. But I do like the idea that they gave the girls a bit of a breather episode. I mean, it's been pretty full on if you think about the fact that they've been on the run for months and basically no rest, no peace. I mean, they had a little bit of solace earlier at that spree slash runner camp that they were in the beginning of the season, but that was very quickly taken away and we're back on to basically living by the scruff of our necks. I like that, like I said, I think episodes like this are good for a little bit of exposition, obviously, but also because it's only natural that you give them a little bit of time to just sit and think and breathe in a situation that's constantly, go, go, go. We learned a little bit more about Nikta, because we don't know a lot about her. Last season, everything we heard was primarily through Alder's recollection or what Tally was piecing together, but we never really heard Nikta talk about herself. And she was very angry last season. She had a very specific mission, which was to get Alder, to punish Alder. And because of that, we didn't really get to hear much about why she got there outside of course, the death that we saw in that flashback that was shown to us. But there's clearly more to there's clearly more to Nikta. I don't think we necessarily need to focus on it because we're in the last season and of course, she's not really a primary character, but it's always good to round out your characters a bit more and make them multifaceted because Nikta was definitely painted as more of a villain in what she did, but like you understood at least by the end of the season what the reasoning was behind her actions. But now we're getting a little bit more layers. We're seeing that, again, when you have someone who's been through what Nikta's been through, it's only natural that she would have put up protections around herself to keep herself from being hurt. She would have lost a lot of spree members, a lot of people who died for the cause. We saw it last season. People had to sacrifice themselves in order to infiltrate the army and to get close to Alder and all those different things. And in order for you to be part of something that's that cutthroat and that desperate, you're going to have to find some way to get through it. And it makes it very lonely, right? The only way you can really get through it and not lose your mind is to kind of close off your emotions, close off your connections to people. But we are social creatures, and she did spend the first half of her life being part of sisterhood and being part of a community in covens, and to suddenly have to cut all that off to some degree at its most primal level to get this mission across, it's going to take a toll. And now that Nikta's actually had to step away from that now for a while, her mission is over, Alder was dead, she kind of has to sit with her feelings now, right? Because that's what happens when you spend so much of your life on a mission, especially one that's revenge fueled. Many people find that once they accomplish their revenge, if they ever get that far, they've sacrificed a lot more, first of all, than they typically thought they would. And many of them also realize that they're still dealing with a lot of the same things they dealt with before the revenge came, right? Any negative emotions or things that they felt they were missing, those don't suddenly just appear after you accomplish your revenge. So I think that's what Nikta's kind of dealing with now. And of course, we saw 2 episodes ago, she was like, I'm not used to traveling with all these couples. It's so weird. And I think it's more a reflection of her being like, I haven't been around people who just love each other at around that level of peace and comfort and family for so long. And it's making her kind of remember the things that she really, because that's what we all want, right? As humans, all we want is love and connection at the base of everything. Love, connection, and to be seen. And Nikta would want those things, even if she's been channeling all that into her revenge. Now that she no longer has that, she's noticing those gaps. And that's why she's so combative with Scylla, because Scylla, I think to her, is someone that's the closest thing to a connection she's got now. And she feels like she's losing that to Raelle. And instead of just saying, hey, I'm starting to feel the need to connect with someone after a long time, and I'm scared that I'm going to lose what connection I have, she's lashing out. And of course, what I just said about, what she could say, that takes a lot of self-recognition, a lot of introspection, which I don't think Nikta has done in a very long time, but that's really what it comes down to. But I'm glad that after Scylla calmed down and she came back, and for both of them really, the fact that Nikta came out to do the song with her because she realized it's something that Scylla said did hit home about her being miserable and lonely. And then conversely, when she did that, Scylla turning around and recognizing that, if someone really is miserable and lonely, maybe I shouldn't attack them for that and actually kind of reach out instead. And her coming back later and saying, hey, thank you, and I'm sorry about what I said. So I like that. We're seeing a little bit of growth with Nikta, and I think, again, she'll learn that while revenge is a hell of a fuel, love is a much stronger one, and it works a lot better, and it's much more formidable than hate. Cuteness between Adil and Abigail. I like that Abigail's basically like, now, I think especially because Kalita has left and we don't know if she's coming back. I mean, we're hoping so, but you know, with whatever they're doing, it sounds pretty big and dangerous. So I think that Abigail is coming from a place of, I know he's feeling like he's losing a lot of family right now, and I love him, and I do think like I can see a future with him. And of course, we already know that she's also in a position where the bellwether line is at its last legs as well. So there's a few reasons I think that she's coming around to the idea of the two of them eventually becoming a family. But I agree that now's not the time. Let's deal with the immediate threat, and then, you know, when it's all said and done, they can do so in a way that's not out of desperation or fear. But I mean, like I said, who knows? We might already have the Union of Earth and Sky brewing for all we know. But I'm glad that Abigail's on board and she's had time to think about it and come around. And that's another reason why this kind of slower episode is necessary for that kind of realization. The president being a dupe, love that. Love that she wasn't taken out. Love that she's on board fully with this plan and working with the military. That little side thing with her and that session leader guy was, I mean, was out of nowhere, but I'm about it. I love it. Why not? Let's get a little, you know, I love a little love. So that was cute and out of nowhere, but I'm like, okay, sis, you get your frustration out. I'm down. Is there anything else really? Yeah, Tally seeing what's happening with Raelle. I don't know if that's happening currently or if that's something, again, or that's right, that's foresight. So they need to get Raelle out of the mycelium is the point. Like whatever's going on, whatever those shadows were that were coming towards her, they need to get her out of there, because whatever it is, it looks like she might be the catalyst to, like I said, what might be the quintessential witch bomb that takes out a lot more than just the mycelium. So that's kind of scary. I'm not sure what that means, but I do hope they figure it out quickly. And of course, all the fighting with the witches with the Camarilla, that's super sad to see, but I'm hoping that my girl Anacostia is going to figure something out. My guess is they're going to be found somehow, but yeah, I don't know. I feel bad. I really hope her man doesn't end up dying. I called a couple episodes ago and I'm like, oh, all this togetherness and sweetness in shows like this usually means that someone's going to die. I'm hoping that she doesn't lose her boo thing, but we'll have to see how it goes. It sucks that they had to succumb to the Camarilla's game and fight each other. Hopefully they'll get rescued. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. It was a bit on the slower side, but like I said, I'm okay with it because of how much has to happen. I feel like we're going to get ramping up. We're kind of at the midway point of the season almost, so I expect things to escalate pretty steadily from this point on. So I'm okay with us having a bit of a breather episode in this one. And I'm really excited to see how they plan on wrapping this all up, because I feel like there's still so many things that need tying up and we're still nowhere close to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this reaction. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and we will see you in the next video.